Good evening everyone. Today I will show you how to execute simple subqueries and correlated queries. Subqueries are queries which are placed within larger queries. They are usually embedded within where clause. Subqueries can be treated as inner queries which executes first, and their result is passed on to the outer query, which is also known as the parent query. Simple guidelines to be followed while typing subqueries is that they must be placed within parentheses. Also, the subquery must be placed on the right side of the comparison operator within the where clause. There are many types of subqueries like the single row subquery, multiple row subquery, multiple column subquery, and correlated queries. Correlated queries, it is a type of subquery. Here, the values are used from the outer query, unlike before. Here the queries executes for every row in the outer query. In some cases, the effect of the subquery can be effect of the correlated subquery can be obtained using the join operation. So I will show you how to execute subqueries using this schema, which contains customer, order line, products, and suppliers. And this is my basic data set which I have inserted into my database. My database is Oracle 11G database, and the queries will be executed for the following 10 questions. Coming to the first question, this asks for the names of customers who have ordered for cherry finish or red oak finish. So the names of customers belong to the customer table, and this belongs to the products table. Here I use the OR operation to perform my query, and I link my customer table to the products table. Here I have my customer name, which is taken from the customer table, and then I link it to the products table using orders and order line table. So this is how I match my customer table to the product table. And here I give my desired condition that the product finish should be either red oak or product finish should be cherry. So that gives the desired result here. The second question is to find the names of customers who have ordered for the product table, and it says to use the in constraint. So this is the second query. Here I use the keyword distinct to avoid duplicacies of the customer name. So I take customer name from the customer table and I link the customer table with the products table via these two tables, orders table and the order line table. That is done with this condition, and then I use the in constraint. So what happens when I use the in constraint is that I pull out the desired tuples from my subquery. This is my subquery. So the desired tuples I pull out from my subquery using the in constraint. So that gives me this result: Kathy Cook, Mary Smith, John Doe, and Richard Newman. Coming to the third question, it is to find the details of customers who have ordered for product ID 1010. So here, this is my query. I select customer ID and customer name from the customer table, and the product ID, this is there in the order line table. So I link my customer table with my order line table using this, and then I give the condition which gives me the desired output. This is my desired output: customer ID 1, name is John Doe. Coming to the fourth question, it says to find the suppliers whose total supply quantity is greater than supplier ID equals 2. So this is the query. I select the supplier name from the supplier table where the supplier quantity is greater than, and here I have my subquery. This is my subquery. To select quantity from supplier 1 where SID equals 2. So here I get the quantity of supplier ID 2. This quantity is valued against, so I get some value for SID equals 2. I get some particular value for the quantity, and this quantity is valued against all the other suppliers using the comparison operator. So result, the result I get is this. These are the 3 supplier names. Coming to the next question, it is to find the supplier with the highest rating. So here I have to find the supplier name from the table supplier 1 where the rating is the highest. So I use the aggregate function max, and max function cannot be used directly in the where clause. I have to use it only in the select clause. So to do that, I use a subquery where I can use the max condition with the select condition. So I select the maximum rating from supplier, and that value what I get, I put it to this rating, I equate it to this rating, and I select the S name for that. So this query gives me the following result. This is my desired result. The next question is to display the products that are same as the product ordered by John Doe. So I am finding all the products that is similar to what John Doe has ordered. So I select all the products, I give product description from the table products, and I give where product ID in. So I'm pulling out I'm using 3 nested queries here, nested queries or subqueries. So I'm pulling out the desired tuples from each nested query. So it starts from the inside. First I select customer ID from customer where customer name equals John Doe. So I select all the customer IDs from the customer where the customer ID is similar to that of John Doe's, and then the result I get here is used here in this subquery where I select order ID from all the orders where the customer ID is similar to the customer ID of John Doe, and the result I get here is again pulled out and given to the outer query which precedes the inner query here. So I select product ID from order line where the order ID is similar to the order ID of the customer John Doe. So this gives me this result. Coming to the next question, it is to display the supplier details whose supplied quantity is greater than the quantity of order ID equals 102. So for this, I am selecting all the supplier names from the supplier table where supplier quantity is greater than. Here again you see nested queries. So I go to the inner query here. This is the inner query. The inner query says that in the inner query the maximum of the supplier quantity is selected from the supplier table. In order to do that, I have to connect my supplier table with the product table. So I match my supplier table with the product table, with the order table, and I see the maximum quantity of supplier whose order ID is 102. So I get the maximum value here, and the value that I get here is matched against the supplier, all the other supplier quantities, using the comparison operator greater than. Doing this gives me the following result, which is my desired output. The next question follows similar syntax to that of the previous one, but the instead of the quantity, it is replaced with order date. So to execute this query, so you see it's similar to that of the previous question, except that the values, the column name changes. Here it's ordered quantity, and there it is supplier name, and here it's the maximum of order date, there it's the maximum of supplier quantity. So here what happens, I select the maximum of the order dates, the maximum order date for the order ID 102, and then I match the order line table and the orders table here, and the resulting value that I get of the order date, which is the maximum, I use it against all the other order dates using the comparison operator, and I select the ordered quantity. So this query gives me the following result. This is my desired output of the ordered quantity. Next question is this one. It is to display the names of customers whose city is same as the city of Helen. So here I have, here this is again a subquery. Here I select city in which the city in which Helen stays, and this city is matched against all the other cities in the customer table, and it selects all the customers who belongs to the same city. So here the output shows that only Helen belongs to the city for which it is matched against. So if I were to say Sam, this is just another, I'm just changing the name to give a clearer meaning to what I have typed there. So for this, you see Sanam, Sani and Sam, all of them share the same city. So that is the meaning of the query. The 10th question here, it asks to display the order details whose quantity is greater than the quantity of order ID 104. So it asks to display all the order details of all the order IDs whose quantity should be greater than that of 104. For this we use inner join. So here you select order ID, order date, customer ID, product ID, ordered quantity. This is all the details of this is all the order details. All that is mentioned here is the order details, which is taken from the order line table and the order table. So here it's taken from the orders table, and then I give inner join of order line OL. So that is given to join these two tables. It selects certain attributes from the order table and certain attributes from the order line table, as we saw here: OL dot ordered quantity, OL dot product ID, O dot customer ID, and O dot order date, and O dot order ID. So these two attributes from two different tables are joined using the inner join, and this join operation works based on a particular match which is given here. O dot order id equals ol dot order id. So this is the condition for the match. Also in the where clause we have the condition ol dot order quantity should be greater than the condition given here. The condition given is this is the subquery. So this subquery executes first. It says to select the maximum of the ordered quantity from the order line table where order id equals 104. So the order id 104 has a lot of ordered quantities of which you select the maximum, and the one value that you get here is used against all the ordered quantities of other order IDs, and that value which you get there, the result which you get there, is taken and matched with the two tables, and they are joined. The resultant values are joined from both the tables, order table and the order line table, to give the desired result. So this gives the desired result. 9 rows are selected. So that's all for the subqueries and correlated queries from these 10 questions. Thank you.